Imagine this scenario. You just finished college and officially entered your adulthood at age 18. And now the world is your oyster. No more bedtime rules, no more school stress, and the freedom to live your life on your own terms. Sounds like a dream, right? Well, this was exactly what I thought. But let me tell you now, taking a gap year isn't what I hyped it up to be. In this video, I will share my experience of being 4 months into my gap year and what I have learned and whether I regret it or not. To start off, let's clarify what a gap year is. So it's essentially you taking a year-long break between university and college. It's a time to figure things out, pursue your passions that you couldn't do in school, or simply take a bigger breath of fresh air from the relentless grind of studying. Sounds good, right? However, this can easily backfire if used wrong. To start things off, let me tell you why I've taken a gap year. For my loyal viewers out there, you've probably heard this from me before, but for anyone who's new here, here's the truth. I left college with grades so low that most of my uni options closed the doors for me. Without much choice, I deferred my uni option to start in September of 2025 and decided to take a gap year as a much needed break, but I didn't fully understand what I was getting myself into. The first month of my gap year. The first month of my gap year feels similar to the honeymoon phase when someone has been married. It feels incredible. No more looming deadlines. You don't have to worry about going back to school when you're chilling on your holidays. And my routine looks something like this. I woke up around 9 AM, watched YouTube in bed until 10:30 AM, grab whatever food that was downstairs and eat it in my room, spend hours playing games like Apex Legends, Fortnite, Plants vs Zombies Garden Warfare, spend the evening watching either TV shows, anime, and chilling with the family, and then going to bed around 1 AM. This cycle repeated for a month straight. For a while, it felt like a childhood dream come true. Slowly it became a nightmare. Because the reality hit me hard, my mental and physical health started to decline rapidly. Despite having all this free time, I still felt I was stuck, isolated, and unmotivated to do anything. So what made me change out the cycle? Well, after weeks of feeling like a hermit with a decaying body, I knew I needed to change. So I finally decided to get a job. My first ever job. For 6 weeks. If you see my previous videos, you will know all about it. If you haven't, go check it out after this one. Long story short, the job wasn't for me. It left me with more body aches than money and solidified my decision to move on. So, what was my life after a job? Most people think that if you don't have a job or go to university, you're probably not doing much with your time. Well, I left the job around mid-October, so I had the freedom and still a good chunk of my gap year to focus on things, and my main focus right now has been content creation. As you can see, I've been creating videos for you guys, sharing my life experiences with you. So you heard of my experiences so far, of what the first 4 months felt like to me. Now, since that's all over and done with, let's break it down. The good, the bad, and the ugly of taking the gap year. Let's start on a positive note. First, you have so much free time. You finally have the time to do anything you wanted, whether it's exploring your hobbies, traveling to new areas, or just catching up on life in general. The possibilities are endless during this. 2. You have the long-needed mental rest. The years of being in the education system, taking a break can be a lifesaver. As for me, it's a chance to recover from the burnout and reset, as you never know, I might be going to uni next year. Because in A-levels, I didn't really have the mental rest because I was still working in the summer holidays and still doing schoolwork. I had to prepare for A-levels in advance because I thought that was a smart idea instead of just taking a mental rest. 3. Discovering passions. Without no academic pressures, you can explore any interest you want and figure out what truly excites you. This could be any type of martial art, sport, handcraft skills, art, whatever it may be. You finally have the chance to pursue that. So take that as you will. And the best one of all, you have the complete freedom from anyone's opinions. No one is telling you what to do. You are free to create your own path without judgment. Well, mostly. As in school time, if you try to start any new hobby, most people, if they find out, criticize you and make fun of you. But in this gap year, there's no one around anymore. It's just you. So, moving on to the cons. Now, first, social isolation. Most of my friends went off to uni, meaning they are not nearby anymore or local to me like they were in school times, leaving me with fewer people to talk to, and it's easy to feel cut off because there's a lack of that connection. 2. You still get judgment from others. Living in an Asian household, right? I've heard it all. When are you getting a job? Stop wasting your time sitting around all day. It's tough to ignore, to hear from family and friends. If you are going to take a gap year, you're going to have to be prepared for that at least. 3. You have too much free time. Now you might be thinking, wait, isn't that a positive? Well, yes, it could be a positive. While freedom is great, it can also lead to bad habits. Without structure, it's easy to fall into gaming addiction, drug addictions, alcohol addictions, because you're 18 now. You have more freedom, you have more choices now, but think you can get addicted to things very easily without structure in your gap year. Trust me, there is a thin line between relaxation and stagnation, as having too much free time will make your body crave you to stimulate yourself in those boredom times where you're just sitting around doing nothing. So you might fill it in with instant gratification things like drugs, alcohol, online content, adult content, games, all that kind of thing, which eventually you need to increase intensity for to feel that same effect again when you first started off. The biggest con that I can think of a gap year is that you may feel lost quite quickly, as throughout your whole life you've been guided by your parents and the education system on what to aim for next. But if you take a gap year, you don't really know anymore, because no one's going to hold your hand now and guide you through life. It's all up to you now. Some people may do it by doing passion, skills, crafts, martial arts, gym, whatever, and that's the good side. But the bad side is you falling into addictions quite easily, as these instant gratifications is just a temporary fix but can easily get you addicted to it and then make you crave it much more and more at a higher intensity. Trust me, I've been through them. If you want me to talk about these kind of addictions in a later video, just let me know in the comments below and I'll talk about it then. So moving on to the question you've been thinking the whole time. Do I regret my gap year? I'm going to tell you straight up now, I don't regret taking a gap year. Though I fell into addictions and all that, I don't regret it. But there's a big but. It's only worth it if you're going to use your time wisely. The first month or two can easily derail your whole life. And if I hadn't recognized the problems I started to have at the start of my gap year, I wouldn't be nowhere near where I am now. So my advice now to you guys is that if you're thinking about taking a gap year, make sure you have a plan, or at least a good intention. Use this time to grow, explore, and figure out what you want. Don't let it slip away. As if you don't come into a gap year with a decent plan, things can go very south in your life and completely ruin it. So to end off the video, what do you think? Would you take a gap year? If you have already taken it, do you regret it, or do you think it was worth it so far? Let me know in the comments below, and if you made it this far, comment host tent so I know that you're a real one. Thank you for supporting my channel, and just gonna give you a heads up right now, I'll be taking a week break next week to spend time with family and recharge. The next video will be dropping out on January the 11th, but I will still be posting daily shorts and still be active in the comments. Have an amazing holiday season, and I'll see you in the New Year's. Take care and see you.